justice for all.
Thank you. Have some minutes.
I read through them, didn't have any comments, unless anybody else has any, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay.
Mike?
Yes.
EJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Chief led us in the pledge, is that right?
Yes. Took the bull by the horns.
My honor.
So, John, you're up.
Okay, last year to date, at this time, we had 264 calls. This year to date is 355, we're up 91 calls. None of it really appears to be COVID related. Actually, when the COVID issue came out, we actually dropped in calls, so everybody seemed to be staying home. So I'm not quite sure whether the fact that summer returned, we've had a few calls. One of the big things we had was last Friday at about 4:18, we had a call down to 44, just south of 422, for a tanker spill.
Yeah.
Tanker truck carrying hydrochloric acid developed a leak in the side, and it was rapidly contained and took us about 2 hours. We had it pretty much cleaned up.
Little fuming when it hit any gravel.
Yes. We had multi-agencies respond to the
I
call.
was gonna say, how many departments from the
We
north?
had the
'Cause I
sheriff's
saw-
office, the state troopers, the Hedgehog County hazmat team, about 5 fire departments.
Did you just
and
bring in another tanker or not?
no, they brought in another tanker, pumped it down, and we contained the leak right away. And unfortunately, it went out without a hitch, so we had to run close for about 2 hours, but everybody came home safe, and it wasn't a big issue, fortunately. Could have been way worse. We had discussion about evacuating the area, but by that time, the leak area was below, the liquid level was below the leak area. It pretty much stopped, and we determined that we didn't need to call for an evacuation. Normal protocol would have been evacuated about a half mile out. So that went pretty smooth. I gave Mike,
Where was that truck headed? What's the hydrochloric acid used for, do you know?
Oh, pickling.
I just meant this particular batch.
Tons of things. So.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff they use it for. He was heading south.
Okay.
Did you need some?
Yeah, a little rust etching.
Any other questions in regards to that? I gave Mr. Troy a proposal today to upgrade our dehumidifiers on the second floor. To upgrade 3 of them from 75 planters to 95 planters. To help rectify the humidity on the second floor a little better. We're going to take one of the smaller ones and move it downstairs. $49.55.
Have you had a humidity problem any this year yet?
No, we haven't. It's
Been pretty dry.
relatively good, yeah.
Yeah, you're ending long spells.
No.
That's going to be ending here shortly, probably, I suspect. So I'd like to get permission to go ahead and get that accomplished.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to make the, increase the dehumidifier sizes and the transfer of the one.
You guys been chasing that for a long time, so.
It's a kind of a big problem child, and we're waiting to see how the downstairs looks when we move the little one downstairs. But
In this proposal, you can put the little.
right. We have 4 units up there now.
Yeah.
One's already a 95 planter, the other 3 are 75 planters. So we want to increase those to 95. It did cut our humidity down last year with the dehumidifiers, but it still gets up there where it's not good for the building.
Their paper sticking in. I'll second that.
Who's the vendor
Rear heating and cooling.
and the?
They were the contractor on the job, Fred, when we built the building.
Okay,
They were the subcontractor on the fire station project. They've been very cooperative, very, very good at trying to work this out, figure this out and help us.
And what was the total amount on the proposal?
$49.55.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes. Well, that makes you next, Mr. Dixon.
Okay, an update on where we're at. The, design team, half of this project from Hostetler and Loudonville, they're in quarantine right now. They were locked down for the last 10 days. I think they may come out of it tomorrow. I was scheduled to go down there last week, sit down with the engineer and start schematic drawings, but he said, you don't wanna come down there.
No.
They're a tight-knit organization, they're Amish, and when one gets something, they all do. So they shut it down, and I'm waiting to hear. I was hoping today, but I'm pretty sure I'll hear tomorrow that everything's good, and we can go down there and get started on drawings. I do have some samples here for you to look at. There's roofing, metal roofing, right there, and then there's a brochure on it here with colors also. And there's a stain, we have to select stain color for the wood. And then I'm still planning to bring back samples of the rough sawn and the smooth sawn timber. And we're working out logistics. I met with the installer contractor, Sam Byler, and we're looking at having the factory do more of the work than Byler for a control issue, like the staining. All the staining was supposed to be done according to the way they do it on the job.
After the install.
Yeah, and I said, so you're gonna stain all this timber on top of a brand new concrete floor?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. I said, oh, no, you're not.
No, you're not. Well, and
He said, well, we'll cover it. And I said, well, so what happens if a guy drops, he's 15 feet in the air?
Yeah,
What happens
right.
if he drops a 5-gallon bucket or 1-gallon bucket of stain on that floor? He
You're
said,
gonna have some maybe inclement weather too.
Yeah, so we're at the point now where him and I agree that if we can get Hostetler to stain all the timber, then the only thing left is the actual pine plank that's underside of the roof.
Yeah.
And they're gonna clear that, and they can spray that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it goes on the stain or not, it's just a clear stain, you know. So that's where we're at, and I'm gonna meet with Hostetler to work that logistics out.
I think he has to paint those, the steel plates too.
He does, and I'm gonna see if they'll do that too, while they're down there. If not, we'll paint them before we put them up, and then touch them up
Yeah.
after we're done.
That would make sense.
So, there's some logistics I wanna work out with them on. I have a whole list of stuff that I went over with Byler's. He seems to be right on top of this, he knows
So-
exactly what he's doing.
When would he do the foundation and the pad?
As soon as we have drawings approved,
Okay.
the permit,
He'd be willing
we
to.
need a stone selection. I took a picture of something that may be close to what you might want. I have a book, I don't have it, but Byler has a stone book, and it's about an inch thick. And there's about 5,000 selections in there. I don't know if you wanna go through all that or
I
not,
think we wanna do
or
5,000.
I can certainly bring it to the next meeting, we got time to pick stone.
Yeah.
But, I can certainly leave it here and you guys can take a look at it and see what, I told him we wanted a mock-up. And he said he would make a board of what our selection was, so you could see it with the sample of the roof and the sample of the stained timber. So all of that is in the works.
Okay.
In addition to that, the chief here was kind enough to send me information on who did our soil borings on
Right.
all these projects that we've had here. And I contacted the two that we used, EPD consultants out of Kirtland, and then also Solar Testing out of Brooklyn Heights, to ask for a quotation. I got one. And it's from, EPD, who changed their name to SME. I mean, we're just playing with letters here. But, this is a nice proposal, as far as, it being complete. They're proposing to do 4 borings. Four, but they also gave us an alternate to do only 2. And they're proposing to do 2 and see what they got. And if there's a question, they'll do 3. If there's another question, they'll do 4.
That makes sense, yeah.
And they're also going to do an underground survey for any hidden utilities or anything, you know. Remember my house? Yeah, we're gonna see if we can find a house up there, but that's not the goal. But anyway, it's quite complete, and I like it a lot for the money, for $3,700 to go up there and do this. I'd like to do that right away. They're also gonna establish a benchmark for grade. We need to determine how much topsoil is there, and that'll determine where the elevation of the floor will be. And if we have a problem with that, with it being adjacent to the other building, we wanna know that ahead of time, before he starts digging and says, hey, I got 3 feet of topsoil here, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, we didn't move that much
So-
dirt in that
No.
area.
No.
There was some moved, I was telling you, Jim. I think that was more down by where those flag poles are. There was a depression about the size of this room that the farm had for hundreds of years, so. You know,
Well, the worst case scenario would be that we'd go steal some dirt somewhere.
yeah.
You know, even up there, we could scrape off the topsoil, dig down 2 feet for dirt, and fill it back with topsoil that's from that site, so, you know, we're not gonna buy anything, it's just gonna be moving dirt from one area to the other if we have a problem, but I don't think we will, I think we'll be okay.
I think we're gonna find about 10 inches at the most.
Okay. Well, we got a 4-inch slab and 4 inches of stone, so we're almost there already, so, to get back where we are.
How deep is it gonna go on a boring?
15 feet.
He's gonna go 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that should give you a real good idea of what's there.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want the pad to crack up and things like that, so, yeah,
Yeah, we wanna know what's underneath there.
it's probably a good thing to know.
Yeah, we've done
They
this.
consider this a very light load, so we're not gonna have any compression issues.
Right.
But unless there's some bad soil down there, and no one seems to think there is, so we'll see.
Someone seems to
No
think.
one seems to.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no one seems to
it's
think
been
there is.
farmland for.
It would show by now, I mean,
Yeah.
your grass is, when it's cut, it looks like, you know, the outfield of Jacobs Field. No, it's not that anymore, is it? Whatever
We
it's
worked
called.
on that, yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
looks like baseball grass.
it is.
Oh, there
It's
you go.
athletic turf.
Yeah, okay.
Right, it's a special athletic turf. That's why we didn't want to tear up too much of it during this.
Yeah, what's nice about it is that, well, if you cut it too short, it doesn't burn.
Mm-mm.
It stays, it just
The
comes
roots
back.
go, the reason I said I think we'll find about 10 inches, that's where the roots go.
Yeah,
They're about 10 inches.
that's a good,
Do you have a
Please.
proposal in hand?
I do.
I think we used solar before, John.
Yeah, we used solar before. When we did the fire station, we put out for 3 bids, and they were, EDP was the lowest and best bid, so we went with them at that time. I think that's the same ones we used for the road
Two
department
here.
too.
It is, yeah.
Or is there two
This is
here?
the same guy?
That's who we
A
use,
different name.
just different name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they joined forces with another firm.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So, we got 2 proposals, or we just got this one
We
here?
just
from
got the
them?
one.
This is SME,
Yeah.
which is solar. Same thing?
No,
No, it's the
solar,
other guy.
we never heard from solar.
Yeah.
You contacted them.
I did, twice. Talked to them once and never heard back from them.
Well, you know, it is a small job, as you said,
Yeah.
and, yeah.
Well, they
Again,
may,
if we got experience with these guys,
we do, and they may
Good
not,
price.
you know, solar may not be operational right now, who knows?
True.
Oh, that's
They should
possible.
be, but, you know, a
That's
lot of companies
possibility.
are not back snuffed yet.
Did you ask
so-
these guys if they can come out and do it?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah, they need, they need 2 weeks, that's all they need, they'll be out.
That would work out.
Yeah.
The proposal we had from him was pretty comprehensive.
That is too, yeah, that's very comprehensive.
I would need my readers, but.
And I plan to be there when they're doing it.
Try to get a copy in Braille for you.
Find the bottom line, I keep forgetting.
They still tease you, don't they? They
Forgetting
don't
that
give you any
part.
slack, do they?
If Jim holds it up, I bet we can both
You
read
go,
it.
yeah, go hold it out there somewhere. I can.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with my eyes, it's my arms are too short.
That's it. That's it.
The lump sum of 3,700.
Now, that's up to 4 holes, right?
That's for floor, yeah.
Yeah.
You get the alternate drilling, small structural lead load, we can find requested geothermal to reduce the drilling scope. We'll change the 4 15-foot borings to 2 15-foot borings, the rest of the scope described above be the same. Alternate drilling scope selected, we can reduce the lump sum to 3,100.
So if they find what they expect to find, they'll just do it.
And they'll stop and then they'll test it.
And stop.
You know,
at that
And
point.
if they have to do 2 more, they'll do 2 more.
You want me to make that motion?
Yeah,
Well, the
I don't have a problem. That's
$3,100
about what
and
I
then-
thought it was gonna be, so.
Yeah.
We
Well,
gotta do it.
I think I would make it for the 37, but, you know,
Well, that's what I mean.
mention there's.
Make it
Yeah,
for
I'll monitor it,
3,100, give
make
them
sure.
discretion if they have to do 4 holes, then up to 3,700.
Second.
That's with the SME company.
Yes. You keep this, Jim?
I can make a copy of it and give it to Nancy, but I think one of you guys needs to sign it.
Or do you get just issue a PO for it? Is that how you do it?
Or however Fred would like.
I'm sorry?
I said however Fred would like.
Well,
You can
It
find
is right here.
You got the-
All right, Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John?
Yes, you're getting ahead of yourself there, Jim. He can only write so fast.
Try.
We're trying to speed him up all the time.
I can write real fast, I just can't read it when I'm done.
That's the next problem.
Yeah, Nancy's gotta read this.
I don't know what the hell Fred wrote here. Anything else, Jim, then?
That's all I have.
Okay. Would you want me to just sign that, Jim, Fred, or do you want to sign it, Fred?
Why don't you sign it?
They put my name on that too.
Commander in
What do you wanna do about the stain and the stuff? You wanna keep
Well, I
that
think
or
we
you?
need to
Yeah,
look
let's
at
leave
it.
it in the
Okay.
office
Yeah.
up here and we'll
All right,
all
that's
get a
fine.
chance to look at
That's
it.
why I brought it.
Keep everything together here.
That'll be yours, Fred.
Yep.
Want to make a copy of that, Fred?
I have an electronic copy, so I don't need that.
Okay.
Okay, one other thing here. Emmerich, he wanted to get some dumpsters on order for trash day. And basically, he just reserves 5 or 6 dumpsters and then tells them during the day we call for more. We got a quote here from Penn, Ohio. he shopped them around and he said this was the best he could come up with.
I see tires included again, and reimbursement on steel, so not that that's worth a whole lot anymore, but
No. But at least we can get some of it, gives people an opportunity to get junk out of the township.
oh, absolutely, I gotta do something there.
It's better than going to the ditches and picking it up and then having to get the dumpsters anyway.
Exactly. We gotta make sure we say off rim.
Oh, they don't want them on rims anymore?
No.
Used to be they would take them on rims.
You won't, they were griping, I think it was last year, we had some tires that were on their rims and.
They used to specify, they made it clear that they would take them on
Yeah,
the rims.
well, right here, he says pricing is for passenger tires
Okay.
off rim, and they're not, that doesn't mean truck tires or that clown that had all those, skid steer treads.
Okay. Got them out, or how do we do
Well,
this?
it's just units. These are 80-yard roll-offs, $2.95 a haul. And if it's metal, you get maybe something back.
It dropped to 3 cents a pound at one point, I think it came back a bit from there.
And tires is $7.50 a load, $145 a ton.
Well, we've already applied for
So
the,
that grant would be
John
nice.
Trumbull grant. They were kind of, if you remember, they were kind of balking on covering costs in full. I don't know what their money situation is,
Well,
but we'll get something back from
You know, it's funny, is I can't remember, I think it was at the health department, but the guy was griping about people, that we weren't part of some kind of collecting tires. And I said, what are you talking about? We brought in 5 dumpsters worth of tires last year. And you go, oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's too many. And I'm like, well, you can't put a limit on it
Well,
like that.
the popularity of this
Yeah.
event is, I think it's overwhelming a little bit to some of these.
So, just to clarify on that event, if you're a senior, you have to call the Department of Aging, schedule and get your name in on the list, and that list is limited to 80 people. And the Department of Aging is going to send down a man and a truck. Maybe 2 men, but at least 1 man in a truck to help them out. And then the dumpsters for Saturday.
Okay, John read off the cost per dumpster, and I'm gonna make a motion, we go with Penn, Ohio for that event in September at prices John already mentioned, and it's on an as-needed basis. As like you said, Emmerich will call them as they need them.
Yeah.
Second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John,
Yes. Just a quick review, 4th of July has been canceled.
Well, there'll still be the 4th of July and a 3rd and 5th.
No, we're not having.
We're not gonna have an
What?
event.
No parade.
We aren't gonna just jump from the 3rd to the 5th this year. No.
Well, I thought we would. All right, we'll have it.
Okay, so we are having a 4th of July.
We just won't have the thing, the
That's how rumors get started, PJ, shut up.
I call people's attention, you need, if you want to go give blood, call the Red Cross. And I think we're gonna have actually 2 more blood drives after this one. And they're very, very pleased with the results they had. It's all pre-registered, but they're very short of blood right now.
Do they have dates mentioned yet? Because
yeah,
people
well,
patrol the township and they make calls to the health department that we're violating policy. you know?
yeah, I wonder who would do that. Some kind of idiot, yeah.
So they only have.
Yeah, we do have 2 more dates coming up. So. And then we covered and I noticed that the air show was canceled. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's not surprising, but it's, I don't know how you're gonna do social distancing down there if you've ever walked through that place.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, okay.
And,
Anything, Fred?
I do, yeah. Just your regular reports and your payment listing of warrants 5839 through 5858 totaling $36,326.56. And I need a supplemental allocation for funds to the general fund. And this represents proceeds that we got for selling fire equipment on Gov Deals. So we need to do a supplemental appropriation for that, and then I did already cut a check to the fire department for those funds.
How much was that?
$19,295.
Is it better than you hoped
what
for?
do we sell?
Yes,
What do we sell?
we sold our old rescue truck, which was over 20 years old, and a hose washer that we never used, along with the fan that was never used, and several high-pressure air bottles.
So,
Good,
not bad.
Yeah.
good job.
All right, so resolution 2020-14, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Geauga County, Ohio, that the following supplemental appropriations are necessary to reimburse the Auburn Volunteer Fire Department for fire equipment sold through the township's govdeals.com account. Supplemental appropriation of $19,295 to account $1,110,599, other expenses. That is the resolution.
Motion to adopt.
Second,
Mike,
yes.
DJ,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
that's all I have.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mike,
Yes.
DJ,
Yes.
Mr. Everly,
Yes, sir.
You'll be around tomorrow?
7:50.
I'm gonna be down in